I attempted a Pokemon Nuzlocke using only shiny Pokemon. But these are not just ordinary shinies, these are custom shiny Pokemon. And yes, this is not the first time I attempted one. There are a set of rules, and this ROM hack is made by Acnoid. If you want to play Pokemon Sinister Sun, the link is in the description. And also, I started this over a year ago. The starter I'm gonna pick is Rowlet. The chances of finding a shiny is 1/4096, but in this game, it chances to 1/100. So, it will be easy, right? Okay, I know this might look bad, but even with a 100 chance of finding a shiny, had to take a break. Sometimes, I need to focus on more important things. After 5 long months, I finally found what I was looking for. Yo, shiny Rowlet! Finally! I decided to name him Hawkeye since his final evolution reminds me of the superhero. After that, I battled my rival How, which was pretty easy since I had the type advantage. After the battle, I decided to shiny hunt for my next team member, and just a few minutes later, I found one. Oh! Shiny Youngus. Wow, it's a good shiny, but it's not gonna be good in the late game. I decided to nickname Badger and battle my rival once again. And this time, my starter almost fainted. Okay, 4 HP. I'm gonna heal Hawkeye. Since Papio is faster, it might be possible that Hawkeye is gonna faint and landed a crit using Pound. Okay, I made the right decision. If I switch to Badger, this could be my first stat since it's under-leveled and Papio's faster. And there you go. And then I'm back shiny hunting for another team member. And a few encounters later, I found one. Oh my god, let's go. Shiny Inkay. After that, since summer is over, it's time to go to the Pokemon school to shiny hunt the Pokemon I ever wanted. And it's Zora. If you're wondering why Zora, Zora is the first Pokemon I ever featured on my channel. Just a day later, I found a shiny. Oh my god, shiny Meowth. It's not the shiny Zora I wanted, but it's a shiny Meowth, and it's also a dark type. I named my Meowth Garfield and battled the students to earn my reward. A 3 Great Balls. Soon after, I went shiny hunting for another team member, and it didn't take long at all. Let's go, shiny Wingull. Nice. I named my Wingull Pat, and not long after, I ran into my rival again for a battle against Team Skull, which it didn't take long to handle them. Then I battled Lima, and once again, my starter almost died. Oh, I think I'm gonna switch to Squidward the Inkay. After I beat Captain Lima, I met up with Lily. She gave me some revives, but since I'm doing Nuzlocke, I can't use them. So I sold them for some extra cash instead. And then I made a terrible mistake. First encounter, not a shiny. Wait, no. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Wrap. If you didn't know, Wrap traps your Pokemon and prevents them from switching. Since Pat is underleveled, the chances of escaping is very low. And because of that, sadly, Pat didn't make it. Pat, I'm so sorry for what happened. Even though you were only with us for a short time, we never forget you. And add that to the calendar. But on the same day, I found a shiny Drowsy and a shiny Ghastly. And I finally battled my first trial. This is gonna be the last normal Pokemon I have to battle before the Totem. Unless a Totem Gumshoes calls a normal Yungoos. Wait, what? Before you push your anime glasses up, that Psychic is weak to dark, which I know by the way. But in my defense, I did not know he can learn Bite because he was level 11 and he can only learn it at level 19. And yeah, my bad. After the loss of Nova, it was finally time to face the real challenge, the Totem Gumshoes. The first Totem Pokemon I have to battle, you have to bench this for Nova. I think I have to switch to Hawkeye, since it can learn Razor Leaf, which can both damage the Totem Gumshoes and his ally. And there's the Yungoos. It did less for Gumshoes since his defense increased, but it did half for Yungoos. Alright, but this gonna kill Yungoos since takes half. Okay. Alright. He's better not gonna call another Yungoos. Since Yungoos is dead, I'm just gonna hope that he is not gonna call for another Yungoos. Alright, I'm faster. Oh, okay, maybe one more, and probably gonna heal up. Alright, just one more power play, and we're done. Are you kidding me? Gumshoe's gonna be faster than Squidward, but if he crits, I lost another member. Please kill it. Please. Let's go! My first trial is done. I defeated the Totem Gumshoes and earned my first Sea Crystal. But it's sad to say that we lost a team member during the trial. After the trial, I had to add Nova to the death counter, but not long after, I found a shiny Noibat. And tell me this doesn't remind you of Batman. And finally, I got my very first evolution. Considering this is a friendship evolution, the shiny looks good. I'm gonna rate this an 8. Not so long after, I found more shinies. I also battled those who has a shiny Furfrou. And my starter, Hawkeye, finally evolved. And surprisingly, I really like his shiny. And once again, I battled my rival Hal, now consisting of 3 members. With his new team member Noibat, and his Pichu evolved into a Pikachu. And I found another shiny, which is a Psyduck, which he's gonna be important later. The shiny is not bad. And now the shiny hunting's out of the way, it's now time to take on the first Island Kahuna. He leads with Machop, but he switches to Crabrawler, and he avoided the hypnosis. But on second attempt, I managed to do it, but he woke up and launched a Z move. I was about to lose another team member. With Pat and Nova gone, this might be the end for Squidward. Goodbye, Squidward. Your efforts will not be in vain. Oh my god, somehow Squidward survived on 4 HP. That's insane. It felt like Pat and Nova were watching over him, like he was carrying their legacies. I immediately switched to Hawkeye, and he uses a super potion. As soon he was on 1 HP, but I managed to take him down anyways. I switched to Shadow and he sends out Makuhita, and decided to use Hypnosis again, and then I switched to Squidward, and I spammed Pex, which does 1/5 the damage, and managed to take him down. 2 down, 1 to go. Then I decided to use the same strat, but I decided to switch to Hawkeye, which does 1/3 the damage. And then I won the match, winning my first ever grand trial. And I also got myself a Tauros mount, and if you notice, it's textured, not shiny by the way. If you notice, one of the rules is that I can get 1 island scan per island. If you don't know about island scan, let me explain. You use the QR scanner to scan, which gives you 10 points per Pokemon. And you can only scan it 10 times a day, but 20 points if you scan these. Once you reach 100 points, depending on the day and the island you're on, you can find a Pokemon that is not normally found in the wild, like starters and etc. And this is the Pokemon I'm gonna shiny hunt. And you might recognize what it is. Yo, let's go! Since it's Sunday and I'm on Melemele Island, I get to shiny hunt for shiny Charmander. Not just because it's one of my favorite Pokemon, and yes, I even have a plush of it, but also because Charizard is super strong in the late game. Plus, I can evolve it pretty early into Charmeleon. And I really need a fire type on my team. And I found shiny Charmander immediately. I decided to name it Toothless from a movie, How to Train Your Dragon, even though Charizard is not a dragon type, besides his Mega Evolution, which it didn't take that long since I have to level up him 4 times. And later on, I played the surfing minigame, which I completely forgot about it. And then, I have just arrived to Okawa Island. And then I just bumped into these 2 people, Dexio and Cena, and I battled him, which I completely destroyed him. And then I found more shinies, and one of them is a Pikipek, which I'm not gonna be using. And once again, I battled my rival Hao, and now his starter evolved, which almost killed my starter. Oh my god, I did not know he can wear Ice Beam. If you guys wondering why I started to whisper, it's because I don't want to wake them up, since it's nighttime, and I had to be very quiet so I don't want to wake them up. And then Toothless swept the entire team. Well, it's just because he's over-leveled. But on the next day, after the dentist appointment, I found a shiny Mudbray. And then I battled this shady guy, who turns out to be a part of Team Skull. He sends out Zubat Burst, and it's not actually a Zubat. It's a Sora in disguise. And then I managed to kill him with a crit. And then he sends out his actual Zubat, which he almost killed Squidward. Oh my god. On 1? Bro, how in the world he always gushed it up? And not to worry, Toothless killed the Zubat. And then he sends out his last Pokemon, which is a strange one. I used Dragon Rage, which does half of the health, and finish it off with the Z move. And then I found a shiny Crabrawler, and not gonna lie, his shiny looks sick. And then Shadow evolved. Oh my god, that looks so good. And then, it's trial time. It's Speed Rose, oh my god. I used Hypnosis, but he missed. And then he calls out a Dupider. But on the second, he landed it. And then I switched to Toothless and used Dragon Rage. Oh my god, don't awake. Yo, that did so much. Bro, I have to rest using a potion. That did over a half. Oh my god, don't you dare kill Toothless. Please don't. Oh my god. I think I have to make a sacrifice. Have to switch to Garfield and heal up Toothless and hope that it's not gonna kill. But it's sad to say, Garfield sacrificed his life for Toothless. Oh my god, Shiny me out! Oh my god, Garfield is evolving. My first evolution. Oh my god, the red looks good on Persian. The shiny is actually fire. Okay, so after the trial, I'm gonna add him to the death counter. Since Toothless is faster, I just hope I didn't heal him up, only to send him to his death too. Oh my god, let's go. Told him I whacked it down. Only left is Jupiter. No way. Oh my god. Okay, I have to risk it. Dragon Rage. Please heal it. Oh my god, let's go. After avenging Garfield's death, I decided to go shiny hunting again and found more shinies, and ended up adding Daisy to the team. Remember when I said this Pokemon will be important later? The next trial is Fire, which is gonna be helpful. I met up with those once again, but this time with an Ultra Beast. But I managed to kill it with Toothless. I made it to the Royal Avenue and took on the next trial. You know, the one where you have to spot the difference? Since I have a water type on my team, I figured this would be easy, right? Well, never mind. Rest in peace, Daisy. You were supposed to carry the team, but you died instantly. We'll add you to the death counter, and I can tell he's having a headache in heaven. After Daisy's death, I switched to Toothless and used Dragon Rage. It did half the damage to the Totem Marowak. Then somehow, Toothless survived on 6 HP. I spammed potions to keep him alive, but then I killed the Totem Marowak, and he got poisoned, and Dragon Rage got disabled thanks to Curse Body. And somehow, he survived again. So I switched to Shadow, and he survived too. Seriously, how they both live, but Daisy didn't? Finally, after all that chaos, I won the trial. And then I added Andrew the Mudbray to the team. He's here to carry on Garfield's legacy. You know, like Andrew Garfield. And while I was training Andrew, this happens. There is no actual way. I just found a shiny Larvitar while I was training. Bro, while I was training Andrew, I countered a Larvitar, and Andrew almost killed the Larvitar, and the first Larvitar he called was a shiny. There's no actual way. And later on, I countered more shinies, and then is the time I'm gonna start my trial. All I have to do is collect some ingredient, and a Foment is gonna attack us, which was too easy, and I did not realize I was over leveled. After finishing making the soup, someone's approaching. Is someone behind me? Yep, it's a Totem Lurantis. I start up with Batman and use Wing Attack, which does a quarter of a damage. Oh, I start to realize I'm over leveled. I did another Wing Attack, which does half, and she used Synthesis, which heals Lurantis back to full health. And then I landed a crit with Wing Attack. Then I switched to Toothless, since his defense drops. And then I used a Fire type Z move, and hoping that it's gonna kill the Lurantis. Oh my god. Okay, maybe I should not overlevel my Pokemon. Then I used Dragon Rage, which I completely forgot about color change, which changed the typing. As soon Toothless is on 12 HP, I switch to my starter, and finish it off, which makes me winning my trial. And that's not all, Shadow Evolve. Well, in this game, Trade Evolution Pokemon can evolve at level 30, so no need for trades. And not gonna lie, Shiny Gengar in this game looks so cool. They made it better. And Shadow is not the only one who's gonna evolve. Andrew evolved and looks so good as well. And they are not the only ones. Squidward is also gonna evolve, but with a trick, flipping my device upside down. But the shiny, well, barely any changes to the original. Later on, I found some more shinies, and then a Team Skull admin challenged me to a battle, and I completely destroyed her team. And then, it's now the time I battled my second grand trial. I sent out Andrew and used double kick 2 times, and somehow he lived on 1 HP. And then both of us healed our Pokemon, but no problem, and Red is down. I sent out Squidward, but he took a lot of damage from Lilith. I went for Hypnosis and missed, tried again, and landed it on the second attempt. So I switched to Toothless, and used a full heal, which recovers from the Hypnosis. I took down Lilith by hitting Dragon Rage twice. Then came the last one, Lycanroc. I finished it off with the Z move, which makes me winning my second ever grand trial. And another reward, my starter evolve. And it's literally one of the best shinies. After the grand trial, I hunted for more shinies. Then I headed to Aether Paradise to meet Lily's mother, Lucamine. Everything was calm, until a strange wormhole opened out of nowhere, and from it, a mysterious Pokemon appeared. I opened up with Nightshade, then switched to Toothless, and hit the Z move, but it didn't do much, so I followed up with Dragon Rage, then switched to Andrew, and the mysterious Pokemon ran away. Maybe it ran because he's terrified of Andrew's looks. And also, I do not forget about the island scan, which is a Ralts. And a few minutes later, I found a shiny Ralts. And then I came to the next island, Ula Ula Island, and battled, once again, How, with his team getting even stronger. I used the Z move immediately to knock out Brionne, then I used high horsepower to knock out Flareon, then I switched to Toothless, and hit Noibat with a double Dragon Rage, and I obliterate Raichu with the high horsepower, and lastly is Tauros. First I just used Hypnosis, and he keep missing, and then I use another Hypnosis, and he misses again. Onto the third one, I landed it. Then I spammed some random moves, and he lives on 1 HP, but at least I won the battle. And then I earned a Lycanium Z, but one problem, I don't have a shiny Lycanroc, but at least Toothless is evolving, which not gonna lie, that was really cool. Then I swap out Batman with shiny Larvitar. I decided to name it Tyranitar, replacing the A with an O from Tyranitar, because my name is Tyrone, so yeah, it's basically me, but I'm a Pokemon. And then I came to Mount Hakulani, and then I met up with Professor Kukui, which we talk about Mount Lanakila, which is the location of the Pokemon League. Then I gather up some Charger Bucks to start my trial, which I have to do some arrangements to form a Z, which summons an Elekid and his mother, then a Totem Togedemaru. But can we look at the height difference between these two? I sent out Andrew and spammed some double kicks, but due its defense decrease, it did very less damage. But when I used a Z move, it ended up being pointless, since the Totem has a Citrus Berry. And then I used Iron Defense, which I'm glad I did because Andrew lived on 15 HP. And at the last double kick, I managed to kill the Totem. Only his left is Skarmory. I switched to Toothless and used Flame Charge, which increased the speed. And I finished it off with a Flame Burst. And another trial goes down. So let's be honest, Andrew carried the team. Right after the trial, I found some more shinies. It's now the time I have to battle the boss of Team Skull, Guzma. The battle with Guzma is way easier than I expected. All I have to do is spam some rock slides, and Tyranitar absolutely obliterate his entire team. I also earned a Z crystal for Decidui, and I also got a mount. I went back shiny hunting to the areas I apparently missed. Because of mounts, which I found a shiny Magikarp, I decided to replace Squidward and evolve him into a Gyarados. And looking back, I shouldn't have used him during the prior trial. And this Gyarados, he's not just any Gyarados. If you recognize the name Fish, you already know. He's a reborn warrior from my last Nuzlocke, where he fell to a cruel destiny bond. But now, this might just be his redemption arc. After some training, it's now the time I have to do another trial. All I have to do is use a Poké Radar on a moving object to track down the ghost-type Pokemon hiding in the area. After tracking some ghosts, it's now the time to battle the totem Pokemon. The fact Mimikyu said see me is way creepier. Like, yeah, I saw you on the Poké Radar, don't act like I didn't see you. Could use Heavy Slam, but it has the ability Disguise. A crit? Okay, so that's because I'm over leveled. I expected Mimikyu to be level 42, but he's level 35. Well, I expected to be higher than Guzma. But I use another Heavy Slam. Mimikyu's dead. And Mimikyu's down. There's no way I just did another crit. No way. Okay, maybe on my next Nuzlocke, I should add a rule that I cannot overlevel my Pokemon because, well, I won. So don't hate me in the comments, alright? After finishing the trial, I wasted no time and headed straight to Po Town, which is the hideout of Team Skull, and go inside to the shady house where I have to find some clues in order to take their quiz. So this is where I have to solve their passwords. So the first one is Poison Jab, second one is Bounce Sweet, and the third one is Tapu Koko. Am I confident about that? No. Well, even though I said no, I still passed. After I solved their quiz, it's now the time I have to confront him that he stole a Yungoos. So I have no other choice but to battle him. Guzma sends out Golisopod, and I send out Shadow. And have to use Hypnosis, and hoping that it won't miss. Which I did, and used Shadow Ball, which does almost half of his health, but Shadow Ball also lowers the special defense. And on the next Shadow Ball, I managed to kill it. His next Pokemon is Scyther, and I decided to switch to Toothless, and decide to use the Z move, hoping that's gonna kill the Scyther. The game started to lag a bit. It almost killed the Scyther, so I have to use Flame Charge, which also increased the speed. Hoping it's not gonna miss. Yeah. 2 down, 1 to go. His last Pokemon is Lorbesta. Gonna use Wing Attack, and it almost killed the Lorbesta, which it doesn't matter, cause I won the battle by using another Wing Attack. But don't mind if I do, if I steal their Bugnium Z. After I rescued the Yungoos, the guy thanked me for my help. Then I met up with Acerola again. But when I returned to the Aether house to meet Lily, she was gone. Something had happened just hours ago while I was away. Hal told us that right after Acerola left, Plumeria showed up and took Lily. But that's not all. Right in the middle of the conversation, the shady guy, Gladion, showed up. He had heard that Lily took Nebby, and things were about to get serious. Gladion had challenged me to a Pokemon battle. His first Pokemon is Golbat. It wasn't easy. That thing kept using Leech Life. which drains my health while healing itself. I stuck with Rock Slide since it's super effective, but it still took a while to wear him down. Tyranitar took some hits and had to burn a few healing items just to keep him on his feet. Eventually, Golbat went down. The next Pokemon is Type Null. First he used Double Edge, which does damage to itself, and I used Double Kick. Then I switched to Shadow and used Shadow Ball until he's knocked out. His last Pokemon is Zoroark. First I used Spirit Shackle and switched to Toothless. And Zoroark used Foul Play, which does almost half of its health. I decided to use a Z move, and Toothless survived on 2 HP. And hoping that it's gonna kill the Zoroark, which he did. After the battle, it was time to head to Aether Paradise. While we waiting for Hal to catch up, this guy shows up. Turns out, he's actually a Kahuna, which is a good time to battle him. His first Pokemon is Sableye. I sent out Andrew and used Heavy Slam, but he flinched because of Fake Out. After that, I used Iron Defense to increase his defense and kept using Heavy Slam until I finally knocked out Sableye. His next Pokemon is Krokorok, and I sent out Bish. When I was about to use Dragon Dance, Krokorok used Swagger, which makes Bish confused and increases attack. When I was trying to use Ice Fang, he hurt itself. I was trying to use my heal items to wait out the confusion. As soon Krokorok used Crunch, he crits, and Bish lives on 1 HP, which, not gonna lie, that was terrifying. Next I used Aqua Tail and knocked out Krokorok. His last Pokemon is a Persian, and I crit him out. And another Grand Trial goes down, one more to go. Later on, I arrived to Aether Paradise to meet up with my rivals. And of course, Baba was there. Then I battled Baba, and he only had a Hypno, which is an easy win. After that, I had to fight some Aether employees, and Baba again, this time with his sheeps. But honestly, those battles aren't that important, so I'm not gonna include them. But the battle that I'm gonna include is the battle against Guzma. The first one is gonna send out is, of course, is Ace. He tries to use Sucker Punch, but he missed, but landed it with Hypnosis. Next I use Psychic, then as soon I was about to use Shadow Ball, he switched. Then I switched to Andrew and used Double Kick. As soon I was about to switch to Bish, he switches back to Golisopod. Then I used Dragon Rage, but due to emergency exit, he switches to Pikachu. Then I brought in Tyranitar and used Rock Slides until he's dead. He switches back to Golisopod and used Rock Slide. Good thing Golisopod is still asleep, which makes Tyranitar finish it off with another Rock Slide. He brought Scissor back in, and I brought in Bish and used Ice Fang, which it didn't do much cause Ice is weak to Steel, but I finished it off with Dragon Rage. The only Pokemon he has left is Volcarona. Since Volcarona is faster, he tried to use Flamethrower, but it doesn't matter because I use a Z move. And just like that, I won the battle. And I could tell how frustrated he was. After that, I battled Dose, which was too easy. Then came a real challenge. Battling Lusamine. After everything she did to Nebby, I have no choice. I have to battle her to save Nebby. Alright, so her first Pokemon is Clefable. So I have to use Heavy Slam. It's gonna be super effective. Okay, think it's not bad. Okay, she survived on 1 HP. So I'm probably gonna switch to Bish, since Clefable's faster. Clefable's down, and Bish gets hit with Q-Charm. Great. Lopunny is next, so I go switch to Hawkeye and then use Pluck. Okay, that did way less than I expected. And of course, he gets hit with Cute Charm too. Shadow, you're up. Actually, never mind. Peach, get back in there. Okay, this little pony has every move my whole team's weak to. Okay, so Lusamin's gonna send out Milotic. I'm gonna send in Haokai and heal him up. And Milotic can also learn Icy Wind. Great! Oh, thank God she doesn't use Icy Wind. Alright, I'm gonna use Psychic, and I'm gonna hope it's gonna one-shot. Bro, we just lost Shadow. Andrew, it's up to you. Oh my god, Andrew died as well. Okay, we're down to our last Pokemon, and it's a Lilligant. Oh my god. This is the most stressful battle I've ever had. Bro, we just lost 2 team members. Oh my god, Shiny Ghastly. Shiny Mudbray. I just recently came back from my dentist appointment. Oh my god, that looks so good. Bro, there's no way Shadow survived as well. Bro, they made Shiny Gengar look so good. Bro, right after Shadow evolved, Andrew evolved. And Shiny Mudsail right off the back. Oh my god, he survived on 15 HP. And the totem is bye-bye. So, yeah. We basically lost 2 members. Before I headed up to Pony Island, I decided to add Shiny Stubble to the team. I named him Freddy from the nap and evolved him into Beware. Unfortunately, the file showing his evolution got corrupted. Along with the next 2 Shiny Isle scans, Pidgeot and Greninja. I still have the image of what they look like. The only clip that didn't corrupt is me actually finding a Shiny in a spot I apparently missed earlier. Finally, Shiny Vulpix. Oh my god, they made it so cute. So, let's play a game. I'm gonna show you 2 Alolan Vulpix. And can you tell which one is shiny? Yep, there's not much of a difference. But when it comes to this shiny Alolan Vulpix, they absolutely nailed it. Alright, so I have an Ice Stone, which gonna evolve my shiny Vulpix, and there you go, Gabby's evolving. Oh, this is the best one yet. And yep, they made Alolan Ninetales even better. As soon as I arrived to Pony Island and started to train my 2 new members, Tyranitar finally evolved. Yo, this gives me Godzilla vibes. I also met up with Hapu. And fun fact about Pony Island, it didn't have a Kahuna at first, until Hapu was chosen to be one. I also obtained a Sunflute, and surprisingly Plumeria, even though she's one of Team Skull admins, gave me a Sea Crystal. Just when we were almost at the altar, there is one more trial we have to face. It wasn't much of a challenge. The trial Pokemon, Jangmo and Hakamo, just jumped at me. But came a real challenge when I reached for a Sea Crystal. That's when Totem Kamo appeared. Alright, so Despite being 10 levels higher, even though I'm gonna use a Z-move, it will not gonna kill the Kumo. Okay, that did quite a lot of damage, so have to switch since Kumo's stats were boosted, and this scissor can learn Pursuit. Just watch this, he can learn Pursuit. Yep. Alright, if I did not switch, he would have been dead. But here's the thing though. Kumo can learn Thunder Punch as well, which is probably gonna kill Peach. And just gonna hope he's gonna survive. Alright, just still miss. Okay, the totem's down. And Peach must survive from Scissor. Okay, Scissor better not use Pursuit. Oh thank god. If Scissor used Pursuit, Peach would have been dead. Alright, another trial goes down. Only left is the Totem Bombi and the battle against Hapu. We finally arrived at the altar of the sun and play the flutes, summoning the legendary Pokemon Solgaleo. Perfect timing, right? Because Lucamine and Guzma suddenly fell from the altar wormhole, and Necrozma shows up. But hey, no worries, Solgaleo is here. Oh. Well, he stood no chance. Surely I can't defeat this fused Pokemon. All I have to do was summon a Black Hole and finish it off with Dark Pulse. You think it's over, right? Wrong, because I had to fly through space with the legendary Pokemon Lunala to save Solgaleo. I sweep out Necrozma, but this time as Ultra Necrozma, I had a plan. Since Tyranitar has the Sandstream ability, Ultra Necrozma would take chip damage every turn. I summoned a Black Hole, and when Tyranitar's health got low, I just kept healing. To stall until the Sandstorm did its work. Probably not my best plan, but it got the job done. Once the Sandstorm subsided and the Necrozma's health was really low, I switched to Toothless and finished it off with Flamethrower. With that, we saved the day. Now it's time to get back to doing trials. Alright, she's gonna send out that's a shiny Mawile. Okay, that did quite a lot, but at least Mawile is down. Basically, we need to defeat the captains to collect all 7 petals. Some give them after a battle, while others hand them over for free. And it was a crit. Honestly, I'm just glad I gave my Pokemon Rainbow Pokebeans. The boosted affection really saved the day. Without it, they wouldn't have survived. Alright, so Granbull's down. He's on 1 HP. Yup, he's dead. Alright, so her last Pokemon is a Revombi. And this Pokemon is also the last totem, but not this Revombi. The totem Revombi later on. And also, I won. Pink Petal acquired. Right after that, I ran into my rival. Turns out, he was doing the trials too, and had just wrapped up his battle with Ilima. So what I know about the captains is that they only use 3 Pokemon. Alright, let's see how much Leaf Blade can do. I forgot this thing can learn Crunch. Let's try Flamethrower. Not bad. What if we go with Rock Slide? That's 1 down. Bro, if he landed a Hammer Arm, Smeargle would have been dead. And that's what I'm telling you. He's dead. An Orange Petal acquired. Since Mao is the master of cooking, let's see if she can master battling too. He has a Trevenant, gotta use Flamethrower. And he just used Leaf Seed, great. But hey, no matter what, Trevenant is down. And Shiinotic survives on 1 HP, great. And Shiinotic's down. And he got poisoned. Okay, that did way less than I expected. Right. This healed Toothless, he's better gonna kill this arena. Let's go. Green Petal, cross that out the list. But not only Green Petal, Blue Petal is also crossed off. There's only 2 captains have to face. After this is Sophocles, and then a quick shot with Nanu for the final petal. Okay, it almost killed the Arcanine. At least he's down. That's not too bad. Okay, maybe I should switch to Bish. His last Pokemon is a Talonflame. Why not he just use a Charizard? He literally has one in the anime. And also Turtonator. Okay, that did a lot, but this he was probably gonna annihilate the Talonflame. And what did I just tell you? And just like that, the red petals is checked off the list. Alright, so this is gonna be the last captain, and it's Sophocles. Alright, so Togedemaru just used Spiky Shield, but since it doesn't make any contact, since I just used Flamethrower, it doesn't take any damage. Alright, Magnusone's up. You gotta be kidding me. And he has 30. Okay, please don't kill. Oh my god. This is my chance. Okay, let's go. Thank god he didn't miss. Alright, so we were down to his last Pokemon. And it's a Golem. All I have to do is hit it with a jump scare. Let's go. The last captain goes down. And yellow petal acquired. So right after collecting all the petals, it's now the time to battle the Totem Ribombee. Alright, so this is gonna be the last Totem have to base. I should try to use Flame Charge, which increases speed and it's gonna be super effective. Okay, that didn't do much to Totem Ribombee. Okay, I just looked it up. It's because of the Oka Berry, which weakens the Flame Charge. So that's why. Oh my god. No way. Bro! It obliterated both of them. Alright, I guess I have to fight Hapu. So right after the trial, it's now the time have to battle the last kahuna, Hapu. Okay, so he has a Golurk. So I'm definitely gonna use Aqua Tail. Okay, one down. He has a Flygon. So I'm definitely gonna use Dragon Dance, which increase both of its attack and speed stack, which is gonna be overpowered. It's gonna go first and it could take a lot of damage. Would you look at that? Mudstill. He has a good defense and attack stats. I mean, it did not kill the Mudstill. It did quite a lot, but since Mudstill is slow, he's dead. Gonna switch to Hawkeye. Gastrodon is 4 times weak to grass. Oh my god, we done it. I can get to the Pokemon League. Let's go. Now that I've completed all my trials, I'm finally qualified to the Pokemon League. But first, have to battle my rival, Gladion, for the last time. I think I should go with Ice Fang. And he got poisoned. But hey, one more Ice Fang and Crobat skill. Okay, I definitely gotta switch after that, and Crobat is dead, and crit. Okay, so Sabale is gonna be fire type now, so I have to use Earthquake. Okay, even though Terminator is slower than Sabale, he can still win this. That's like almost half, so it's not gonna kill it. And Sabala is down. To be honest, imagine Gladion with the Lucario in the anime would be crazy. Since Ash Ketchum has the Lucario, imagine we get to see a Lucario versus Lucario duo. Just like with Lankarock, that would be interesting. Well, speaking of Lankarock, I don't know why he wasn't with him on this team. I mean, he has a Zoroark in the anime, so basically, half of his team are in the anime. Considering Alolan Ninetales is a fairy type, it's not gonna kill. Yep, not very effective, but it's gonna kill. Won the battle. On the way to the Pokemon League, I also got an ICMZ, and finally, have just arrived. Right, so earlier, I just trained my Pokemon, and I hope it won't be very easy because I trained my Pokemon to level fudging 69. Oh. No way. And he got paralyzed. Oh wait, never mind. So the last time I battled a Magnezone, he has Sturdy, so I don't think this Magnezone has Sturdy. At least this Magnezone doesn't have Sturdy. Okay, that did so much. Okay, nice one. One question. Will Bisharp survive the Flamethrower? And the answer is yes. Bisharp is down. And just like that, one down. The fact Olivia is not only the Kahuna, she is also in Elite Four. Reminds me of Larry in Scarlet and Violet. One down. Two down. And it's a crit. Okay, yep, how did I forget about Storm Drain? Oh my god. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Bro, are you serious? Gabby, better landed a crit. Okay, at least Cradle is dead. Let's go out, guy. Alright, so one more Bully Blade and Lycanroc is dead. Alright, so Lycanroc is down. And also a crit. Bro, the Pokebeans are so OP. Okay, yeah, this might be the worst decision. Okay, bro, seriously? Okay, at least I won the battle, but her team is so annoying. Okay, 2 of the Elite Four are down. Only 2 left, and I have to beat Acerola. And Bandit is down, and yep, Cursed Body. That did not bad, and that's the Shiny Palossand. So Brutal Swing did almost half of its health. Okay, I might gonna regret this because of the sandstorm, but I just gonna hope it's gonna subside. Oh my god. Oh my god, no way. Oh my god, I'm so lucky. No way. Rustlash down. I can still use Rock Slide since Driploom is a flying type, even Dark Pulse is disabled. But hey, a crit. It all comes down to the final Elite Four, and she is a gold player. Alright, not ideal, but hey, at least Braviary shipped himself a bit. Okay, that was close. Okay, of course she did. Okay, now she's just stealing my strategy. Okay, at least she did not use another Bulbasaur. So she's gonna use Splatter, which increased the special attack, and Gabby became confused. Okay, she did not hit herself, only 2 left. Now she snap out. Let's go. So apparently, Oricorio's different forms have different types, so I have to switch to Peach since this form is Fire type. And the last Elite Four is down. After defeating the Elite Four, there's one more person have to battle. This is the moment, the time to avenge our fallen teammates, and have to use every Pokemon on my team. And of course, the first I have to battle is my rival Hal. His first Pokemon is Raichu. I know I've got Peach outrun, but I'm not risking it. Time to switch to Tyranitar. There is no actual way. I just found a shiny Larvitar while I was training. Yo, let's go, shiny Pupitar. Bro, look at its eyes. Bro, you absolutely demolished. Yo, this gives me Godzilla vibes. Toothless, you're up next. Oh my god, shiny Charmander! And shiny Charmeleon. Oh my god, let's go. Totem Araquanid down. Yo! Looks so cool. Alright, let's go try Flinchor. Alright, since he's gonna send out Primarina, let's have a starter duel. Yo, shiny Rowlet! Finally! And would you look at that, shiny Dartrix. Yo, shiny Decidueye. Looks so good though. The Sandstorm is better gonna kill Primarina. Primarina survived on 1 HP and he switched into Noivern. I mean, at least it's a crit. Since Noivern's both weak to Ice and Fairy, have to switch to Gabby. Finally, shiny Vulpix. Oh, this is the best one yet. Okay, please kill it. Nice. Peach, this is the moment to redeem yourself from the last Nuzlocke. Let's go, shiny Magikarp. Peach is back, baby. This is gonna be the start of Peach's redemption arc. Let's go! Alright, 2 left. Ready, you know what to do. Would you look at that, a shiny teddy bear. And that's why I called a bite of 87. Alright, it all comes down to his last Pokemon. His starter, of course. Why not we just finish it with a starter duel? Of course he just used a Bulbasaur. But it doesn't even matter, let's go! I finally became the champion. And do you think it's over, right? Well, you're wrong, because have to battle Team Rainbow Rocket. First, have to battle Baba, alongside Lily. But they instantly wiped her Clefairy. But hey, at least I carried her to victory. As I made my way deeper into Team Rocket's castle, battling grunt after grunt, I ran into none other than Maxie, the leader of Team Magma. So apparently, the team leaders are now part of Team Rainbow Rocket. He sends out Mightyena, which Freddy absolutely chomped down with a bite of 83. Next one was Crobat, which got demolished by a rock slide. Then came Camerot, which I killed it with Aqua Tail. This next Pokemon is Weezing. I tried to use Dragon Dance. Turns out, this thing has Thunderbolt. I decided to switch to Gabby to finish it off. His last Pokemon is the legendary Pokemon Groudon. I tried to use a Z move, but it ended up being a waste of time. Hey, let's go, he used a full star, let's go, he used a full star, Okay, so, whoever gives trainers full stars, I'm sorry, but I hate you. Right after the fight, I needed to flip a switch hidden behind the painting, and then I went up against Team Aqua's leader, Archie. He sends out my Diana, which I almost killed him twice, since he just used a full star. As soon as I was about to take down this Diana, he switched to Crobat. Then I switched to Tyranitar and demolished him with Rock Slide. Then I switched back to Freddy to take down the Torpedo. I hit Milk with a powerful Earthquake and took it down. Then finally finished off my Diana. Now all that's left is Kyogre. And surprisingly, I managed to kill it with a Z move. The next leader is Cyrus, who is the leader of Team Galactic. I used Earthquake on Houndoom, and used Flamethrower on Weavile. Used Ice Beam on Honchkrow, and used Rock Slide on Crobat, which I one-shot all of them. But lastly is Dialga. Since Dialga is a legendary Pokemon, there is no way he gets one-shot, right? Well, that was easy. But anyway, right after I used the Galactic Key, it's now the time I have to battle Lysander. His first Pokemon is Minchao. I used Wing Attack on Minchao and almost fainted, then suddenly... Once again, Bulbasaur. After multiple tries, I took it down. His next Pokemon is Pyroar, which I used Dragon Dance and Aqua Tail to take it down, and used Rock Slide on Honchkrow. And his next Pokemon is Gyarados, but this is not just an ordinary Gyarados, this is a Mega Gyarados, which is the reason why I put Freddy in front. He hit with Earthquake, taking about a third of Freddy's health. Freddy used Superpower, and nearly knocked it out. Another Earthquake left Freddy barely hanging on, and I finished it off with Hammer Arm. And the battle against SHINIES, bro, this affection feature is so OP. And it's a crit. This is why you should feature Pokemon Rainbow Pokebeans. Another leader down, now it's time to battle Ghetsis. To start off, Tyranitar used Star Pulse, but Copagrigus hit back with Widow Whips. Just when I was about to finish him, he switched to Bisharp. But hey, at least I got a crit. Then I wrapped it up with Flamethrower. Up next was Poupon. I went for Hammer Arm, but missed, and it hit back with Earthquake. Luckily, I landed on the second try, and took it down. Next up was Hydreigon. He went for Hyper Voice, then I hit back with Ice Beam. After it popped up Bulbasaur, I finished it off with Dazzling Gleam. Then he sends Copagrigus back in, and I just finished it off with Dark Pulse. And lastly, he sends out Zekrom, so wrap things up with a Z move. After defeating Ghetsis, it's finally time to face the boss of Team Rainbow Rocket, Giovanni. First I used Aqua Tail to take down the trio, then switched to Hawkeye to land the Leaf Blade on Rhyperior. I swapped back to Peach and hit Nidoqueen with the Aqua Tail. She survived on 1 HP, but even after a full restore, it didn't matter. The next Aqua Tail finished her off. I kept healing Peach to survive against Nidoking, and eventually took him down. And finally, Mega Mewtwo. I sent in my starter and ended it with the Z move. After defeating Team Rainbow Rocket, you think it's finally over, right? Well, you're wrong. Again. Because now, I have to face the former champion of the Kanto region, Red. Okay, this Pikachu definitely has a Light Ball, which basically doubles its attack and special attack. Okay, that did so much, but can the Earthquake kill the Pikachu? Yep, it can. Okay, if this feature doesn't exist, my Pokemon would have been dead. Ooh, okay. And it's a crit? Okay, unless Red doesn't use a Bulbasaur or Switch. Let's go.
Venusaur down.
Okay, that's a shiny Blastoise. Yep, Blastoise can learn Ice Beam. It did almost half of its health, and the sandstorm subsided. Okay, yep. The Pokebeans are so broken. Alright, it all comes down to its last Pokemon, and it's Keizo. And yup, Keizo's dead. And that's it. The journey finally ends here. This video has been in the works for over a year. And if you made it all the way through, thank you. Seriously. It means a lot to me. Especially if you've been sticking with me this whole time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I got more stuff coming, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Until next time.